and welcome to Beautiful Me TV. With me is Miss Donielle Pace, also known as
Pace Poetry.
Yes, ma'am. So Miss Pace Poetry is here because obviously in her name she does poetry, of course. But also she is an author. And so I think it's very important to have people of all different varieties and all different passions and what they have as their purpose in life to be able to share it here on the show. And so she has reached out to me and is eager to share with you guys everything that she's doing. And I'm excited that she's here to share it with you. So now everybody can know about Pace Poetry and her book and just where everything came from. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. So tell us, Miss Pace, so about your book, what is the story behind it?
With Awakening the Pace of Love, it is a memoir about me. And I know some people be like, a memoir about you? And it's so weird because I didn't want to write this book about myself. I was like, because I'm a writer, I always said I'm going to write books. But I didn't want the first one to be about me because I was like, who am I? You know. But after I found myself dealing with another heartbreak and just crying and crying and crying, I was like, something kept saying, you need to write that memoir. Because this was actually an assignment in my undergrad, like when I, before then. Like it was a 20-page assignment for me to write a memoir, and I did that. And my professor left me a note saying I need to turn it into a full memoir, maybe even script it into a film and stuff. So, I was like, oh, that's nice, but push it to the back. Mm-hmm. But something was like, you need to write that. And so I started writing my story and taking it from the moment, when I started experiencing real heartbreak. And so this book led me to finding the real me and, uncovering who I am as a person, what I was doing to myself, because a lot of times we are so quick to blame others for our heartache and our pain, but we never take the time to realize, okay, well, what is going on? What am I doing? So, and it fall back to, childhood, parents, their marriage and how things played out, and all that played a significant role in how the choices and the decisions that I was making with choosing guys, being promiscuous, being just that girl that I probably didn't see myself being at an early age, but that's what I started doing, trying to find love. And so that's why I named it Awakening the Pace of Love, because finally, after I, finished it, I was like, I finally understand it. First off, I got to accept God's love. Like, if you don't accept God's love.
Because he loves us more than anybody.
Exactly. And I realized, I was like, I didn't even accept his love. Like, because if I accepted his love, I wouldn't be accepting all this stuff that I'm allowing to do to myself. And then, of course, with accepting his love, you learn to love yourself. Right. And so that's where I got the title from, because I went through so many names and stuff, because I'm bad at titling. And but yeah, and that was my awakening. Like, I needed to. This book actually helped with so much. Like, because I was gonna seek therapy, and I didn't have a problem with doing it, but this actually became my therapist, and it drew me to grow a deeper relationship with God, because I realized I was going to church. I knew some of the word. I did start paying my tithes, but I still didn't have a true relationship with him, and that's important. And then through that relationship, I started to love myself. And because people would never know. Like, they'd look at me and be like, oh, she's pretty, and I would look at myself and be like, oh, I'm ugly. And it was just like, and I never could see what people would see in me. So that was the deep-rooted issues and when you don't see your worth, and as cliche as it may sound, when you really truly don't see who you are and who God sees you as, you allow anything to happen to you, and you will make some of the worst choices. And it just so happened that God gave me an outlet to find that, so I can stop myself, right? Basically.
So tell me, because you did say about how your self-image and self-esteem, which it seems to be a deep issue that a lot of women face, and it's something that we don't like to take on, because I know I can be very cautious of myself and my weight, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just ate all this bad food. Look, but it's like, they're like, you're fine, you see, it's like, no, but it's like, I want to be like, and it's like, you know what, just let it go. You are beautiful within yourself, and God sees you that way, and so that to me and what you're expressing is really deep, and I think it's very important that you realize that yourself. And I wanted to know also, can you share what was it, I guess for other young ladies who may be in that position of not seeing themselves as beautiful, what was it that drove you to accept the fact that when it changed and you were like, I am beautiful? What was that trigger, I guess?
What that trigger was, it really was, that's a really good question. What triggered it was I finally looked myself in the mirror. Like I would go to all these. I started going to a lot of different networking events with natural hair and just women empowerment, events. Those started to really help me because it's like you need to make these affirmations to yourself. And so probably about a year ago, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, girl, you look good. And it's just kind of like, with or without makeup, and I've never been a makeup person anyways. I just started to learn how to do just the basic stuff. But so it wasn't never with anything with makeup. It was just I had all these, things, where it was just like I had this, if I had the bigger butt or if I was thicker because, thick is in and I'm skinny and all this type of stuff that played a part in it. But then I just started to realize, like, I got to accept myself. Like, if somebody wants you, they're going to want you regardless. And I'm not here to force anybody to want me. When I realized that I was forcing someone to want me, that's when I had to take a step back, check myself, and be like, you are better than this. I don't have to force anyone to want me. Because if they want me, if they're for me, if they're God sent, it's gonna fall right into place. So going through those networking events and then finishing this up and just having real, true reality checks with myself. And it's so funny I say reality checks because one of the first sermons that I listened to of T.D. Jakes was called Reality Check. And I suggest everybody YouTube that sermon, Reality Check by T.D. Jakes. That right there was like an eye-opener for me. And since then, honestly, for like a year now, I've been listening to his sermons every morning, for the most part. And those just things, just building and growing more and getting more involved and, making sure that I am falling in line with God's purpose, that's what started to give me that confidence because it's like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then when you start feeling like, you're doing what you're supposed to do and, you accepting yourself. And honestly, and let me take it back, me making sure that I embrace my natural hair, as silly as it may sound, but my mom never liked our natural hair because it was curly and big, and she always press it. So when people ask me how long I've been natural, it's kind of like a give or take because I didn't start perming my hair till I was an adult, but she pressed it all the time. And when I started to really, truly see that, and I'm like, all these years I've been hidden, so, and now I'm finally me. So it's like now when most of the time I wear my wash and go my natural state because that's me. That's me. And so just embracing all that comes with me. And it was just really, truly just checking myself. Like you have to step back and give yourself a real, true live talk. Girl, you tripping. Talk. And, that's what I did.
I hope a lot of ladies are listening to what Pace is saying because, no, it really is important to do that reality check. And I'm going to make sure that we have that available for you all to look into. But also, can you even share, I guess, a little piece of your book? I guess you can tell us what would you like for girls or just anybody to take from your book when they read it?
Right. I did write this book for young girls and women in general. What I want them to take from it is that you don't have to make those choices to get someone to love you. It doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter if you've been molested. It doesn't matter if you've been physically, sexually, emotionally, mentally abused. You make the decision to cut it out. And a lot of times things happen within our childhood, and these are just generational curses that keep coming into place. And if you don't realize it, the cycle just continues. And what I had to realize, even though I have sons, I don't want them to see their mom being treated any kind of way, and then they think that they can treat a woman any kind of way. Like, I can mess with this one here, then mess with that one there, and do this because my mom accepted it. So I want young girls to say no. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't have to call me out my name. No, I'm not going to accept you dogging me out and treating me any kind of way that's below my worth. I want them to understand that you were born a queen, so walk as a queen and hold your head up like a queen and make sure that you are treated like a queen. Because my mom used to tell me, if a man can't treat you like a queen, you don't need to be with him. But what she didn't tell me is, how is that supposed to look? Right. So what my book is, I just want you to see the decisions and the mistakes that I made. And even though everyone has to have their experiences, there are a lot of experiences that we don't have to have. Mm-hmm. So just understand that you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to stay victim, because when you continue to be victimized, you're going to continue to allow yourself to get hurt. Mm-hmm. And no one wants to be in misery. Right. Life is supposed to be happy. You have to choose to be happy. Right. And that's the bottom line.
And it's your choice to make. It really is a personal choice. So I hope you all took a lot from that. And Pace also has something else. We're going to talk about her other side of her poetic side. So please stay tuned for the rest of the show. We'll be right back after this break. Okay, welcome back to the show. I'm here with Miss Pace Poetry, also known as Donielle. And she also, like we just talked about her book. And let's show people the book so we can all see. So this is her book, Awakening. Okay. So, Miss Pace, so please tell us, because also poetry is a part of your lifestyle, and I'm sure your passion. Mm-hmm. So tell us what got you into doing poetry.
I started writing poetry in high school because I had to. But it was in class. Okay. I got away with using other people's songs and putting the title on it for the longest, and then getting to 10th grade and I'm in pre-AP classes because I done did all that, and so we were forced in that classroom to write them, and so I started writing, and my teacher would always say, "Oh, that's really good, and I'm not thinking anything. Because in my mind, I thought I could sing and I was gonna be Janet, but but once I started, and of course, like I said, I started early, and so when I started using poetry as a way to express my feelings, because I'm a person that really truly holds a lot of things in. I don't verbalize my feelings, and so I started using that as my scapegoat. And so I always wrote poetry, and that's why I actually got my degree in. I got in creative writing with a concentration in poetry. But about 4 years ago, I want to say, I went to my sister's, probably about 5 years ago when I first tried it. Mm-hmm. I went to Red Cat when my sister was doing like a therapeutic Tuesdays. So I was like, I was focused. I was memorizing and everything. Mm-hmm. And I get on stage, can't remember nothing. And I walked off. I was like, I can't do it. And some guys, some of my friends, they were in a band, and they were just like, just get up there with your notepad, and we're going to play behind you and sing behind you and just make it look like it's part of things. So everybody forced me to get back up there, which at the end of the day, I really truly thank them for that, because that solidifies, like, I think I want to try this some more. So then I started frequenting this Wednesday night open mic, and I give this girl full credit, because the host of it never ever let me come in there and be an audience member. She always made me get up there. She was like, "No, you gonna spit something. Spit one of them. I know you." So I would always be like, "No, I ain't gonna spit today. I ain't gonna spit." She's like, "No," and she'll just call me up there, and I'd be like, but with having her do that helped me find my voice more. And so then that's when I just started performing, doing open mics. But I can honestly say within this last year or so, I really haven't done any open mics. It's just been all requests. The improv team that I do improv once a month. And so with that poetry team, but other than that, I haven't been doing any open mics. I just been getting requested in in shows, thank God. God is good.
You say how often you said you're at the improv again?
It's once a month.
Once a month.
Yes,
so.
it's once a month. So yes, poetry or die.
Snap, snap. I love poetry. Like, we've had poets, and I know y'all seen poets on here before. We've had AJ, we had Kodak, we had Self. Like,
They perform with us.
Oh, see, look, and then everybody's connected in some kind of way. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love the connection. It's just so deep. I was like, I wish I could just think of words and phrases and just be able to say something. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, if you really break it down.
Right.
And I'm always so amazed every time. So, improv. I know we're at the end of the show. We're out of time. But she is going to share a little something with us.
Yes, I am.
Yes. So, you want to talk about, I guess, the piece that you're about to
Sure. This piece is the one that I mainly, that was my leverage, and most people ask for this poem. But this is about what's going on in our society with our black males, and, you know, being a mother of and raising 2 black sons myself, you know, I couldn't imagine putting myself in those shoes that these women are experiencing. So that's what prompted me to write this piece, just trying to, you know, figuring out, thinking like, you know, at the end of the day, that could be me too, you know. So that's what prompted this piece. It's called Don't Shoot, A Black Mother's Plea.
So stay tuned. We have Miss Pace. Thank you.
I am SYBRINA Fulton. On February the 5th, 1995, I gave birth to TRAYVON Benjamin Martin. And on February 26, 2012, he became only a memory I could hold. I am Leslie McSpadden. On May 20th, 1996, I gave birth to Michael Brown Jr. And on August 9, 2014, the only way I could see my son smile was in an 8x10 frame. Fear is what they claim to be just cause to leave us with this emptiness that we wake up to every morning and lie with every night. Fear, the opposite of faith. How are we to still have faith when fear seems to be the dominant power in determining one's fate? The hoodie they feared on a cold, rainy night, but the long black trench coat on a warm, sunny day was harmless and hardly suspicious to anyone's sight. Their body physiques were intimidating, so the best solution was to follow and antagonize the large black teenage males minding their own business, enjoying the treat they just purchased, clueless to the tricks who were hot on their trail with the mission to give them their only 2 options, death or jail. They expected our sons to go back to the Uncle Tom or cotton picking nigger era. But our sons did not acknowledge their right to remain silent, nor did they allow a stranger to harass them just because their blackness posed a threat. And the officers, realizing that they were powerless and transferred no inferiority over unto the unarmed large black teenage males, felt the need to make an example, with every bullet releasing a rhetorical fallacy of power growing in strength, while our sons' bodies lie weak in them, leaving them with no other choice but to have their rights remain silenced. And the officers said they had no other options. While in other news, the long black trench coats opened fire, snatching multiple victims from their loved ones. But somehow fear was nowhere near present for the long black trench coats, holding a large AK-47, pointing them all in their eyes. The long black trench coats were apprehended and were pictured on the front cover of magazines with the caption, "Geniuses," written up under their airbrush profiles. While our sons, who held no criminal background, were pictured like mugshots. They fear what it is that they don't understand, and they hate what it is that they envy. Our culture is the most imitated, duplicated, and emulated. There can never be a replica. Our culture is a revolution. That is what they fear. So they impose their ideology about us on us. Now we like Dawson and we see a black male figure in our rearview mirror. They want us to fear ourselves so we can use that same just cause reason to destroy ourselves to help speed up their mission, so we become fossils examined in museum exhibits. Are black males really on the verge of becoming non-existent? I am Donielle Pace. On February 21st, 2003, I gave birth to Sean Michael Donato. On June 1st, 2007, I gave birth to Stephen Javon Smith II. How much truth should I tell 2 boys to still get a thrill out of playing hide and go seek and karate chopping out each other's teeth? Should I tell them that their games of cops and robbers have now changed to cops and niggas and they can only play one role? Should I still paint this pretty picture for them that they can be whatever, whoever it is that they want to be, when I know the truth about the limitations they will have, no matter how much they align themselves to the posted image? Should I warn them of the struggle of breaking down the barrier of society's perception of them and their perceptions of themselves? How am I to tell them to fear no man but God, when I fear daily that one day on their walk home from school, their grape Arizona juice and a purple can will be mistaken for a black pistol ready to blast? What are us black mothers supposed to say? What are we supposed to do to prevent our sons from resting under a tombstone too soon? I call upon the mothers of Martin Luther, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Fred Hampton, speak down to us and guide us within your truth, because our hearts and souls are getting consumed as we beg and we plead with them to please don't shoot. Our sons' lives matter too. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know about you all, but I got chills
Oh, thank you.
after that. Like, it was so powerful. And she's going to be at the Improv once a month. Yeah, so Pace, tell us, how can we find you on social media or any other social media? It's a million now.
All my social media is Pace Poetry, PACEPOETRY. That's Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. You know,
Okay.
so all of them. I try to get on all of them. You know, I'm a social butterfly now.
Good. Look, I'm still trying to get there. I'm only on 1, 2, 3. So if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to share your talent just as Miss Pace did, you can follow me or at me at Beautiful Me TV on Instagram, and on Facebook is Beautiful Me TV. My YouTube is Beautiful Me TV, and then Twitter is Beautiful Me HOU. So either way of form, you can do that, or email me at info@beautifulmetv.com. Y'all have a great day. Bye.